everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl with blue hair here, and we are going to go on a very fun journey today. This is all about deer makeup for your Halloween costume. This is something that is super quick. I have done this maybe 4 or 5 times now over the years, not every year in a row, but this is something that's super fun, super quick, and you can kind of layer it on top of your makeup if you're like coming home from work or coming home from a dinner or something and need to just like do some makeup and go. If you don't have deer ears or a wig, I highly suggest doing what my friend did. She literally went outside, grabbed some twigs, and just stuck them in a headband, and it was the cutest thing ever. To get inspiration for this, I highly suggest either leaving my video up while you're doing your makeup or pulling up a picture on Pinterest or Instagram or just some reference so you have shapes to go by. It just makes it go a little bit faster, easier, and probably has a better turnout in the end. All in all, you can be super awful at makeup and this will turn out great, so I highly suggest it for beginners or for someone who wants to go a little fancier than the just standard throw on a costume and go out the door. So if you're interested in deer makeup, stick around and we will start right now. So jumping right in, I really like to go ahead and kind of start carving out my face in the shape that I like to. And for this, I usually mix a cool tone or a medium tone bronzer with a deeper, richer tone bronzer. You can use powder for this if you want. Really, in the end, all you want to do is make sure that you are darkening up your skin around the perimeter of your face and just blending and blending and then going in and kind of carving out all the shapes you want, including around your neckline, on your ears, anything that your wig might cover. You want to go ahead and bronze that just to give it a bit of a shadow, and go ahead and carve out your chin as well. I do like to make mine a little bit more narrow for this costume. Again, I just think that it has a much better look overall when you're done. So just keep digging into that bronzer and just keep blending around the face until you get it to where you want it. So dipping back into the same 2 colors of bronzer, and you can use whatever you want for this. It could be eyeshadow, it doesn't have to be bronzer. You could use eyebrow powder, anything that's just got a deep, rich tone to it. But continuing along, I like to continue with the medium and dark colored bronzers and just go ahead and now connect my eyebrows down my nose, going down the sides of your nose and blending down and out, because we want to cancel out the shape of our natural nose and kind of force the perspective onto these highlighted spots. You'll see a little bit later that we're going to add concealer to these areas. Again, it doesn't have to be concealer. You could use foundation, you could use a primer, you could use a jumbo crayon, anything that's brighter than your natural skin color or the bronzer color that you used to kind of carve these initial shapes out with. Again, all we're doing is trying to force perspective onto these highlighted areas so that it looks more like a deer. After this, I'm going to keep going into the same color of bronzers, and I'm basically going to put in a line here just under my eyes. We want the eyes to look a little bit bigger than they actually are, so we're going to go in and give this a little bit of a shadow just beneath the eye. I like to use the natural concave of my under eye area, so it actually kind of helps if you have wrinkles down here, which I do. So I go ahead and I just kind of highlight those wrinkles using the bronzer. Now using a flat angled brush, something that you might use for your eyebrows, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to use just the dark bronzer to kind of bring forth that crease even more, really deepen it up and make it a little bit sharper. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead, as you see here, and make this curved downward shape just on like the inner third of my lower eyelid. Again, we're just playing with perspective here. We're making new shapes on our face, and this is really gonna help make you look more like a deer. I know right now it looks a little bit crazy, but you'll see later when we get into it, it gets a lot better. Next up, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and start the highlighting process. So I go with the inner corner of my eye, and we're gonna get right next to the nose, top of our lid. We're gonna do the top of our nose eventually, as well as the forehead and our chin. And as you see here, I do like to work in small sections though. This is just because my concealer that I use definitely dries down kind of fast. So I'm gonna go in with this paddle brush. I do love this brush for a multitude of reasons, but specifically for this application, I like it because if you do it in a messy manner, it actually leaves kind of like fur-like streaks in the concealer. So make sure you don't blend the concealer all the way in. If you can, if you have a brush similar to this, or you can try and be a little bit messy with your brush, leaving streaks definitely brings forth a cooler aspect to this deer makeup. So you can see it a little bit better here on my nose. You can actually see the brush strokes in the concealer here, and as I'm blending and moving it around on my forehead, you can see those brush strokes as well. We will go over those edges a little bit more later, but for now, this is perfect. This deer makeup is a lot like regular everyday makeup in the aspect that it kind of looks crazy up until the point where you're finally done with your mascara and your eyelashes. So up until that point, it's gonna look a little crazy, but trust me, it'll look really good in the end. You just gotta kind of go through and keep carving out these shapes and these designs just to get what you want. So now that I'm done with the concealer and the highlighted areas, I do like to go back in with my brushes and kind of find the spots that need to be blended together just a little bit more. To do this, I basically go back and forth from bronzer to concealer and just kind of blend without completely destroying those brush strokes that I created earlier. Right now what I'm doing, which is a step that you can totally skip, you can definitely cover your eyelid all in one color, whether that be your bronzer color or your highlighter color, it's up to you. But I like to make it a little more makeup-y and just do kind of like a quick carve out of my eyelids here just by going into the crease, giving it kind of like a smoky effect. And then I'm gonna jump right into this jumbo pencil. Now, I'm not sure which pencil this currently is. I did used to use the NYX Jumbo Crayon. That was my favorite, but I ended up getting this one as a present, so I do like to use this as well now. It isn't fully white like the Jumbo Crayon was. It's more of a highlighting stick, but again, if you don't blend it in all the way, it works perfectly fine for this aspect. Again, a little bit more blending with the powder. This is more so just to set the concealer that we put on there, not necessarily to blend it or to add more color or dimension. That's just to set it. Taking the same crayon that I just used on my lower eye line, we're gonna go in and make some white deer spots. Now, deers don't have regular shaped spots, so you don't have to be perfect here. You can get a little messy. It's completely up to you how you want to do your spots. Coming into the finishing stretch here, I'm going to throw on some mascara. This is just to prep my eyelashes for the fact that I'm going to add some fake eyelashes to this look. Again, this is another step that you don't have to do. If you just want to pop on some mascara to your upper eyelashes and go out the door, that's fine. I just think that it makes your eyes pop and gives more dimension to the look by adding fake lashes here. So do what you want. Either way is perfectly fine. So you can see here that I like to lay my lashes on, just kind of get it in a rough spot or position, and then I go back in with these curved tweezers and I really focus into where I want those lashes to sit. I know for me this works out really well just because I'm not the greatest with putting on false eyelashes. And then after you get them where you want them, I like to take these tweezers and clamp down my eyelashes just to kind of blend them in with my natural lashes. I definitely learned this trick from another YouTuber, Shaaanxo, and ever since she taught me that, it has been a game changer in putting on lashes. So if you wear fake lashes, that is definitely a trick you want to be utilizing. Next up, and we are in the home stretch here, this is just black liquid eyeliner. Now, I do suggest using like a black matte liquid lipstick for this part. I just think that it lasts a lot longer, but I was completely out of it at the time. So I'm just gonna use eyeliner because I've used eyeliner many times previously. You definitely want to make sure that you set it with a black eyeshadow or a translucent powder once it has dried down, but it works just the same nonetheless. One line down the middle of the lip, and then go ahead and hit that Cupid's bow, and then connect the Cupid's bow to the corner of your upper lip. You are going to leave your lower lip clean in this deer makeup. Again, it's just another one of those trick of the eye things that I think makes this makeup look so good and so realistic. So yeah, I definitely just do the upper lip, leave the lower lip wrapped in foundation or concealer or powder just to kind of cancel it out. And then we're going to throw on our wig, and I throw on a skirt here, and you're all done. So I hope you enjoyed joining me for this deer makeup tutorial. Generally speaking, when I take photos with this, I tend to not smile. I just think it looks better, more deer-like. To do it that way, you can see I added a scarf. My wig has little ears that are just clipped in, some flowers from the craft store, some like greenery from a craft store, and this is just a cheap blonde wig that I added some braids to, and I kind of tucked up the curls in the back here just so that it kind of like stays up and together. I just found over the years that it makes it a little nicer to do it that way. So yeah, if you liked this tutorial, I hope it helps you find a Halloween costume for this year. I hope it's super easy for you as well. And if this video helped you at all, please give me a like below. Give me a little subscribe action as well. And if you turn on the alerts, it'll definitely notify you, or hopefully notify you, when I upload my next video, because I do not do them regularly. I am really bad about that, but I work a bunch of different jobs. So I do this because it's fun, and I do it when I have time. So hope you have a great Halloween season, and I'll see you next time. Bye!